But whatever happened to women where they decided to wear shoes that hurt? Like what?
They always have.
But what the fuck is that about? That is such a bizarre choice.
Because of their lack of power, they couldn't get a good job. You know what I mean? Believe me, if it was switched the other way, if you made $1 less an hour, you couldn't imagine the shoes you'd be wearing right now, Joe.
$1 less an hour. Do you know that that's not true? Do you know that whole thing about the gender disparity, the wage gap, is not true? Do you know what that actually is? It's choices in jobs. It's not job for job. Like if you were an engineer and you're working next to a woman, she wouldn't be making 70 cents to your dollar. It's bullshit. It's a lie. And it's one of those propaganda things that they like to tout out. And you heard fucking Obama talk about it. Sarah Silverman talked about it when she was trying to get Hillary Clinton elected. It's a weird thing that people keep repeating,
I thought
but
she
it's
was
not
with Bernie
true.
Sanders.
I thought Sarah Silverman was with Hillary Clinton.
I thought it was initially Bernie Sanders. And then
Maybe she was.
Then everybody jumped ship and went fucking Hillary, including Bernie, who then fucking endorsed Hillary. I was just like, dude, why would you do that? There goes your credibility.
You might be right. It might be Bernie she was endorsing. But it's that thing that they say that's just not true. What it is two factors. One, there's the less hours. Women tend to work less hours. They also tend to take risky...
Because they're lazy.
Well, they have kids for the most part.
I'm joking.
Maternity leave. One for the laugh. There's maternity leave. There's a bunch of other factors. They're less crazy, less ambitious. They don't have as much testosterone. Obviously, they're not as fucking crazy. Men are willing to work themselves into the grave. And when they're working side by side, doing the same job, there's almost no disparity at all. There's a few jobs where men get paid more than women, but it's not much. And it's certainly not 70 cents to the dollar. And this is one thing that gets touted out over and over again by people. But it's just not true.
Well, I have no idea.
Look, I had a friend of mine who I got in an argument about it. We was talking about divorce, where we were talking about a buddy of ours that got fucked in a divorce. And he goes, hey, maybe it's to make up for the fact that women only make 70 cents an hour. I go, okay, the fact that you say that drives me fucking crazy because you think it's a good point, don't you? And he goes, yeah. I go, do you ever research that? And he goes, no, but it's a fact. I go, it's not a fact. It's not a fact. They make 70 cents compared to...
A guy said this?
Yes, a guy said this. He's a guy who likes to argue. He's a friend of mine who likes to argue. And he's one of those guys. He's the worst.
You just got to walk away from that.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, but he's got a fucking problem. He doesn't like when he doesn't know something, and when he doesn't know something, he doesn't go, holy shit, really? He goes, that's not true. And I go, what the fuck? It's true. It's fucking true. Like, go Google it. Like, we got in a big fucking crazy argument.
A web series? I want to watch you guys drive from here to San Francisco, just watching you losing your shit. It's fucking true.
Well, a couple times we've gotten in these arguments. We've gotten in like 3 of them, and it's like when I don't know something, I'll say I don't know. Or if someone says something and I didn't know that, I'll go, holy shit, is that true? He's the opposite. He's like, that's not true. So
if I don't know something, I'll do a bit on it.
Twice this fucking guy's done this besides
act like I know what I'm talking about.
But that's comedy.
I did a bit on the wage gap on my new my new special. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
my whole thing was like, how the fuck did they find out what everybody makes? You just call up the IRS? Can we get W-2s on everybody? They're going to give you that information.
Well, I don't know. I
have no idea, but all I know is it's harder for them straight across the board. That is the thing.
For women?
Just everything is harder, and all of our lives are easier. That's the overall fucking message.
I see. You're being sarcastic.
I am. No, it's just like...
You have one of my favorite jokes of all time about motherhood being the hardest job in the world. He goes, how's it the hardest job in the world when you're wearing fucking pajamas all day?
Yeah. No job you can do in your pajamas.
I love that bit. My wife hates it.
No, I'm not saying it's not fucking
no, but it's funny.
Difficult. Yeah.
It's obviously difficult, but it's a funny point.
I used to do the whole thing. Yeah. Go work on an oil rig that fucking blows up.
Exactly.
And as you jump into the fucking like on fire water, going underneath that, and then you're just sitting there with second-degree burns and salt fucking water, hoping that Coast Guard gets there before the shark eats you alive. Talk to me about the terrible twos.
I have a friend of mine who works at an oil rig in Canada, in northern Alberta, where it gets 50 below zero. And I go, how do you do it? Because they work outside. I go, how do you do it? He goes, well, you keep the truck running, and you work for about 7 to 10 minutes at a time, and then you have to go inside the truck for about a half an hour. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, you can't take it anymore because any exposed skin you have, he goes, you try to cover your face up as much as possible. You put a ski mask on, but just your eyes, just all around your eyes is all fucked up. Like everything's fucked up. It's like it's just too cold. You just can't do it. 50 below zero. They just work for short stretches of time, then they go in the car, and then the other guy will go out while he's in there, and then he'll go out for like 10 minutes, and then they take a break for another 10, 15 minutes, then the first guy will go back out again.
Yeah, all of those shows make me so thankful that I'm a comedian.
Those fucking crab fishing shows?
What's the fucking worst job you had? This as far as physically, like I will kill myself before I'm 30 if I fucking do this.
Out of high school, I worked on there was a Knights of Columbus Hall that was having a wheelchair ramp built, and I had to carry cement bags and pressure-treated lumber every day. And I only lasted a little over 2 weeks, I think.
I lasted 8 days. I was a gopher on a construction site. We were roofing in June or July. And I just remember having to bring up those. First of all, I bought the wrong colored fucking shingles. They wanted the fucking ebony one, and this was off ebony. I don't know what the fuck it was. So I had to go all the way back, unload the fucking things I loaded on, load some more back, brought the fucking things back. And I just remember, dude, it was just like, I never ate so much in my life. Like, I'd eat like 3 sandwiches, and like a half hour later, I'd be like starving, and just weight was just falling off of me. I was just like, dude, what the this is insane. But the thing was, if I hung in there for like a month, I would have got my sea legs. But I just was like, but I didn't have it. I knew it. I always knew. Like when I played drums and everything like that, every time I thought I was getting good, I'd go into Guitar Center and some 8-year-old kid would get on a kit, and I'd be like, holy fuck. Like I was like, dude, I would pay you to give me lessons. And it's just like that when whatever you're trying to do, when you see like a kid come in and he fucking blows you away, it's just like, all right, this is a hobby, Bill. This is a hobby.
Well, doing construction is definitely not a fucking hobby. It's just brutal back-breaking labor.
There's a gift as far as like seeing how things go together. Oh yeah, dude. There's an art to everything.
Well, there's an art to construction.
There's the Louis C.K.'s of fucking contractors.
Oh yeah. No, I mean as far as building houses, but I mean laboring. Like carrying bags of cement. There's no fucking art to carrying bags of cement.
But they would give me shit to do, like, make this fucking miter cut 45. And I fucked the same cut up 3 times in a row. It was to frame a door jamb, and I kept measuring to the inside of the corner rather than the outside of the corner. Remember the third time I did it, my boss just looked at me, grabbed the wood, and he looked at me the whole time, walked up to the frame, and never took his eyes off me. And the frame was behind him, and he just stuck it to the fucking wall and just stared at me. I was so embarrassed. I was just like, oh God, dude. He's like, dude, you went through like fucking $20 worth of stock to make one fucking cut. Like, what are you doing here? And I was just like, and I didn't even pick up my check. I didn't even pick up my check. I drove up to the site. We worked Monday through Friday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I drove up to the site, and I just looked at it, and my body and everything just said, dude, fuck this. And I just kept driving. He never called. Why would he call me? I'm the guy wasting lumber. He doesn't give a shit. He got free labor out of me, and I didn't give a fuck. And I forget what I did after that, but that was a rough time for me. But like, I always knew, like, if I didn't like a job and stuff like that, it's like the De Niro thing in what was that? The Heat. You got to be willing to walk at any moment. You got to be willing to fucking walk.
You got to know it's bad.
That was it.
That was probably the toughest physical job that I had. And it was also a good lesson, because it was a lesson that, like, if you work for somebody else and you're just doing labor, you're just doing mindless labor, you don't have any time for anything else. You think you got 8 hours in a day and there's still another 16, you'll get shit done. You're exhausted. You're fucking beaten down. I would go to the gym. I'd try to work out. And I remember trying to hit the bag, and I just had nothing. There was nothing there. I'd never felt so tired in my life. And I was only like 18. I should have been full of piss and vinegar. I was just dead. And I remember, like, all my ambition wheels would just ramp it up. I was like, okay, this is not my fucking future. I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Because I had these delusions that I was going to become a carpenter. I was like, well, I'll get in the union. I'll start building houses. That's a good gig, which it is, if you're a good carpenter. That's what I thought
I was going to do. Yeah, you know what? It's a good gig if you're the guy telling the people to go build the fucking house. But if you're the guy out there pouring the forms, you've noticed that that's mostly young guys. Like, that is a fucking young, even like landscaping. Like, after a while, you got to get a crew, and you got to be the guy, like, sending the crews out, because there's only so long that you can just, like, I feel like laborers and that, they have like the same career trajectory as like a professional athlete. Somewhere around 35 to 38, your body's going to be like, dude, I can't fucking do this anymore.
You just break down. There was I had a bulging disc in my neck, and I went to an MRI place. And there was a lady who went in before me.
And this lady?
And this lady, I was looking at different people's MRIs, and this lady had the most fucking ridiculous cartoon bulge of her disc. some poor woman who I think she worked at a laundromat or something like that, just carrying baskets of clothes, and her back was just so fucked up, and she was probably like 40 years old or something like that, came over here from Mexico or Guatemala or something. And I remember looking at her back, like this poor lady has no choice. She has to go to work. There's no way around this, and there's no jobs for her other than this. She can't speak English. Like, she's got to do what the fuck she's got to do. And she had.
Dude, you went into her chart, huh? You started reading
right
up
there.
on her.
It was just sitting up there on the screen. And I asked the guy, I go, whose back is that? He goes, it's hers. I go, holy shit. I go, does mine look that bad? He goes, no. He goes, that's bad. He goes, that's bad.